Welcome back to Been There, Watch That. And the algorithms have spoken this week. Joe, using his algorithm magic, has come up with the 1995 film Tommy Boy, starring Chris Farley.
Yes.
Also, just throw it out there real quick, Joe. We got our website, www.beentherewatchthat.com. Go check out our old reviews. Um, I think we're up to... This is episode 47 now. So
yes.
We got all those in archive.
47 movies.
And find us on social media. Just type in BTWT Pod. You'll find us that way.
So I'm going to, right off the bat, I'm going to steal Dave's line. Go ahead and just start letting the mop buckets pour, boys.
Oh, come on now. It's slapstick comedy. They can never be mop buckets.
It's almost 100 hours of viewing we've done so far. Viewing and reviewing.
That's crazy.
100 hours.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Now, just to put it in perspective, there's going to be somebody, and I'm going to just throw out the name. There's going to be a Karen somewhere going, you guys could have used that time more wisely for something else. What?
Not really. We'd have been goofing off anyway.
Exactly.
It's just trading one vice for another is how I see it.
Exactly.
And I'm okay with that.
When I heard Joe's pick last week, I was like, this will be interesting. Because this was one, me as a boy, I was just, yes, Tommy Boy is the greatest
Were you
comedy
Tommy Boy?
ever.
You're like, man,
Yeah.
that is me. That's me. I would say exactly that.
Yeah.
I would do that. Heck yeah.
Not a whole lot of surprises for me in this one. I feel like I've watched it so many times.
Right.
For the most part, I knew it was coming, but still got some good laughs. And
Well,
interesting rewatching it through the analytical lens that we do on this show.
yeah, that's where I had trouble because it was funny when I dropped it last week. Immediately, Dave's going, but then yet you guys are sitting there quoting. I'm going, okay, Dave's giving the but yet you guys are just jumping in. So I was like, I don't know how it can be such a bad movie if we're sitting here quoting already.
There'll be some quotes flying around today, I think.
But then, as I was watching it, I told Cena before.
Holy snikes. I
Yeah.
started it last night on the text chat.
Yes, he did, and I started laughing immediately.
Yeah.
I told Cena, I said, this is going to be a very hard movie for me to watch because this is one of my all-time favorites. So from an analytical side, it was very difficult for me to sit and watch from an analytical point of view.
What'd she think of it? Had she seen it before?
Oh, yes. Yeah, this is, yeah.
We're a Tommy Boy household around here.
That's right. So are we
So
ready?
for those who have no idea what it's about, Joe, you want to fill them in a little bit?
Yeah, give us the
Absolutely.
update, Joe.
Okay, so here's the rundown. After his beloved father dies, dim-witted Tommy Callahan inherits a near-bankrupt automobile parts factory in Sandusky, Ohio. His brand-new stepmother, Beverly, wants to cash out and close, but Tommy's sentimental attachment to his father's employee spurs him to make one last-ditch effort to find someone who will buy their products. With his father's tightly wound assistant Richard in tow, Tommy hits the road to scare up some new clients. So, starting the cast.
Richard being David Spade.
Yes.
David Spade.
So the casting call on this one, we have Chris Farley, who plays Tommy Callahan, and he's known for Black Sheep, Beverly Hills Ninja, Coneheads, and Saturday Night Live. David Spade plays Richard, and he's known for Joe Dirt, Saturday Night Live, and Benchwarmers.
Joe Dirt.
Yes, Joe Dierte. Bo Derek plays, and Dave just giving the head shake.
Dear day. Come on now.
Bo Derek plays Beverly, and she's known for Tarzan the Ape Man. Brian Denny plays Tom Callahan Jr., and he's known for Cocoon and Ratatouille. Dan Aykroyd plays Ray Zelinsky, and he's known for Ghostbusters, Blues Brothers, which is in our archives, and Saturday Night Live. Julie Warner plays Michelle Brock, and she's known for Doc Hollywood and Flatliners. Zach Greener plays Ted Riley. He's known for The Good Fight and Deadwood. Sean McCann plays Frank Rittenhauer. He's known for Chicago and Miracle. And Philip Williams plays Danny. And he's known for Good Will Hunting, Max Payne, and Jason X. And that is
Rob Lowe?
Rob Lowe.
I did not add Rob Lowe because he wasn't on the IMDb list.
He wasn't credited for it.
Yes.
Because he was in something else.
Interesting.
Yeah, he plays the supporting role Tommy's stepbrother and is uncredited. The reason for this is because Rob was contractually obligated to Stephen King's The Stand
Yeah.
at the time, so he took part. He took the part simply as a favor for his friend Chris Farley.
Yeah. Nice deal for Rob Lowe. It's interesting seeing him in that role.
Yes.
Yeah,
And Bo Derek. When's the last time you heard Bo
Yeah.
Derek? I didn't even realize that was her until today.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know.
That was one of the big hooplas was Bo Derek was in Tommy Boy.
I
It's
mean,
over my head. I'm not
Bo
familiar.
Derek, she had a poster in the 70s that just
Yeah.
that was like viral
was
at
the
the
one?
time.
Was that the one in Shawshank Redemption?
No, I don't think that was Bo Derek's.
Okay. Because she was in Tarzan, The Ape Man, Valerio, Ghost, Can't Do It All. They're all negative reviews, but
Yeah, just a quick search this morning. Saw Rotten Tomatoes wasn't super kind to Tommy Boy.
Yeah, the critics were, but the fans love it.
Right.
Yeah, the critics just dumped on it.
Like a
she was in
40%.
10, the movie 10, the romantic comedy 10 in 1979.
Yeah, and Chris Farley actually makes reference to that. Did you catch that?
No.
Okay, so when Tommy and his dad come to the
Oh,
house,
she's a 10.
yeah, Dad. Whoa, Dad, she's like a 10 when she comes out of the pool. Yeah, that was a reference to her appearance in the movie 10 in 1979.
Nice.
Yeah, what kind of gets the ball rolling at the very beginning of this movie is Tommy graduating from Marquette, I believe.
Yep.
And, you know, they set the stage to kind of show how much of a
Slacker
party
is, yeah.
guy, kind of idiot, I guess. They show him in a test, and you're basically, they fill in the blank. Supposed to put John Hancock. He puts Herbie Hancock. That'll come back later. But just him going in after the test to like kind of pushing people aside to try to see his grade. And it's D plus, and he's kind of like
So excited.
Oh my gosh! But then he turns to
So excited.
pure joy, running around campus doing cartwheels, then doing bong rips and drinking beer, and then collapsing into a table. So that's how the stage is set for Tommy Boy.
Okay, as many times as I've seen this, I did not catch it. But did you catch any of the names?
The names,
on
Little
the-
Debbie.
Yeah, did you catch any of the names on the grade list?
Oh no! Do you have a still image or anything?
Let me see if I can find it.
That'd
But
be funny.
Let me look through my facts here.
A
I'm
couple of the
sure.
names that I found last night. Michael Jackson got a D plus. Helen Keller got an F, but I don't know who else was on the list. Tommy Boy grade list.
I know Little Debbie was on there.
I didn't catch Little Debbie. I didn't catch any of them. I just found it on a research last night.
So him graduating, then coming back to his father's, brake parts. Mostly they do different auto
business.
parts, but
Well, they were adding brake pads.
there's the contrast between his dad, who's like so proud of him for graduating, and everyone else is just like, you took 7 years.
Well, David Spade, yeah, like we've been
You
here
got,
forever,
like-
and you already got an
You
office.
got D's the whole time. Like other people are not quite as impressed with as his dad is.
It's funny though, because I did appreciate the fact that the factory workers liked him because he did factory worker jobs, even though he's the boss's son.
Yeah, that was a different dynamic because usually if they get that
they're like
boss's son stigma
Yeah, the
of
spoiled, rotten kid.
yeah,
And he fit right in with that crowd. He's like, "Hey, good to be back. Can I give it a shot on buffing the oil filters?" And shoots one through the window.
yeah, and his only response was nice distance.
Yeah. So pretty neat little dynamic there. There's a lot of stories inside of one story.
But yeah, they loop back around like later in the movies. Things
Yeah.
come back. A lot of storylines going. This Lorne Michaels produced, I think.
Yes.
It's got the Saturday Night Live, the head of
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live being involved in this movie,
Yeah.
and probably bringing a lot of comedy writers in that had all sorts of ideas for.
Well, and like
All the
the
different
holy
storylines.
shnikes line, that was, one of the phrases that Farley used growing up because they weren't allowed to use obscenities.
Right.
So, holy shnikes. So funny stuff. I mean, slapstick comedy all the way around. We expect no less from Chris Farley. David Spade kind of surprised me. I guess they're friends in real life.
Yes.
And but it kind of surprised me because he doesn't play slapstick comedy roles in his other movies
Right.
necessarily.
Well, and he's kind of. This is for this character. It is such a complete different direction than like Joe Dirt.
Yes.
Because in this one, he kind of plays the uptight,
Mhm.
straight-laced, this is how things need to be done, which is the complete opposite of Chris Farley's character.
Right.
They really pushed him over the top with making him as snarky and unlikable as possible. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
He was a little anal retentive little man that
thought he's better than
sarcastic.
other people.
But I found that I couldn't hate his character.
Yeah,
You
just other people in the movie hated him though.
Yeah, but it's one of those, as a viewer, it's like, yeah, he's kind of an arrogant jerk, but it's not it's not arrogant enough that you hate him. It's like one of those, he's just a pain in the butt enough that he deserves Tommy's presence, Tommy being Tommy. It's like he almost just deserves that punishment enough, like, okay, we can tolerate you now.
Yeah. And some of the sketches were borrowed from Saturday Night Live, but they're seeped in Saturday Night Live type comedy, especially the whole crew's kind of that.
Yeah.
Like the fat guy in a little coat. That was a spiel from Saturday Night Live that Farley and Spade joked around a lot with. That's going to leave a mark. That kind of came from Saturday Night Live and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. So neat little tie-ins all over the place for those little Easter eggs.
I think as a kid, that's kind of what we glommed onto. We liked having those little one-liners. That's gonna leave a mark. We like to be able to like run around. You throw a ball at somebody, that's gonna leave a mark. Just as a kid, there's a lot of stuff in here that is very like, all right, here's the quote. We can run around and say this now.
Yeah.
Shnikes, obviously, we're running around all day saying "Holy shnikes."
Yeah, because I remember when I was in college, they released the Tommy Boy. It was a special edition DVD. It was the Tommy Boy Holy Shnikey edition, and I went to Circuit City. I got out of class early that day and went to Circuit City to get the DVD because I got a free T-shirt with it. So I have the Tommy Boy Holy Shnikey edition DVD, and it was like a 2-disc set, and it had a free T-shirt too. And that's the whole reason I went to Circuit City. Was one, you got a free gift with it, and two, it was Tommy Boy.
Nice.
Didn't bring it in today, huh?
I couldn't find the shirt. Trust me, I contemplated, but I couldn't find the shirt. The shirt's somewhere packed away.
Yeah.
A lot of funny scenes that were just like kind of one-offs, like sitting in a sailboat with the kids heckling them from the shore.
Yes.
Just kind of that, and I really enjoyed the car scenes.
Yes.
He's got this mint GTX or whatever it was car. You got this mint older car.
Yeah.
And the first thing he does is slap some M&Ms on the dash, and they roll in the vents. He's like, "Joke's on you, hard candy shell."
Yeah. Whoever came up with just that one little scene of M&Ms rolling into somebody's bed.
Yeah. Brilliant. Bloody brilliant.
Yes. And that's what's funny is when you say, they rolled M&Ms down the dash, and you're going, well, that's not funny. But the way they did it, it's hilarious.
I can see that happen with one of my kids.
Yeah.
They slap something on the dash. I'm sure everybody that's been driving has put something on their dash, and they go take a turn and go sliding across.
Yes.
So I could see that.
Yeah. And it's one of those, okay, if it's a kid, you just get mad. But considered Tommy is a full-grown adult and should know better.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just what makes it hilarious.
Well, and I related to it because when you're driving and that happens, you can't do anything about it because you're driving.
Yeah.
And then a turn.
Yeah.
So you just got to watch it happen and be like, crap.
Yeah, you're going at a high rate of speed, so literally you can't even stop in the middle of the road to take care of it. It's just like you got to ride it out.
Yeah.
The banter between David Spade and Tommy Boy, or Richard and Tommy Boy, like a lot of it is just David Spade will say something snarky and Tommy Boy's like unable to come up with anything.
Yeah, I like how he kind of starts. Well, you're what are you saying over there?
Shut up, Richard.
M&M's. He's like, there's a thin candy shell on it. Surprised you didn't know that. And he's like, your brain has a thick candy shell on it. He's like, your brain's the one with the shell.
Yeah.
What was that over there? He's like, shut up.
Yeah, like two brothers would argue.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can never quite come back with a comeback.
But yeah, I like the whole, back the door up. I've been close to that.
Yes.
I went to back up just a little bit and realized my door was open and almost caught one of the steel poles. And I was like, ooh. So I could see that happening.
Yeah.
And then the oil can for the hood.
Yeah.
I was like, yep.
And that's the thing. The comedy in all this isn't like over the top, like that's just ridiculous comedy. It's like all stuff that is completely inside the realm of possibility.
The only thing I didn't buy was an old cardboard oil can.
Okay.
You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
old round cardboard ones?
Yeah.
They don't make those anymore.
Well, but this is the 90s, and they was going through a small town. So
Yeah.
yeah.
90s still had plastic oil containers.
Right, but
You have to go back to like Steve Martin and the Jerk to get, and that was set back into the 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, I've actually pulled a Tommy Boy in real life, coming in for break for college, and then, about to hit the road again, be driving for hours and hours. I'm like, better check the oil.
Mm-hmm.
So you pulled the latch, but then kind of forgot about it.
Ooh.
It's undone. I get up to about 45, 55 miles an hour on Ripley Road.
Mm-hmm. No way.
Oh.
No way.
Front hood of the
Wow.
car flips up so fast, it happens so quick, just shattered my windshield.
Oh.
Driving down
Well,
the
it's supposed to have a safety latch. It won't let that happen.
Not at
That
those
wind,
speeds.
that wind got under me. Totally pulled a Tommy Boy on myself.
So you're saying 45 or 50, huh?
Yeah.
More like 70,
I don't
75.
know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind resistance on that is the breaking point, apparently.
Oh, man. That was crazy. I actually had to email a professor saying, I'm not going to be able to be there for the exam, basically. I was like, I'm going to need an extra day. I had a little mishap.
Yeah, the hood hit. My windshield got hit by a hood.
Yeah. Some
Really?
scoundrel.
Yeah.
So Chris Farley died at 33 years old.
Yeah, drug overdose.
Yep.
Which is sad.
Sad, dark guy in his...
So he was sober
Offspring.
for all of Tommy Boy, but then he fell off the wagon.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw this out now. That's something I never thought of as a kid, but I actually heard on another podcast someone who knew Chris Farley. They kind of said he didn't necessarily love doing like the fat joke things all the time. Like he wasn't. It
Yeah.
probably didn't make him feel totally great. He kind of went along with it because that was his character, and that's how he was able to make people laugh. But,
Yeah.
like he confided in someone else that I don't really love doing that. And this movie is just like chock full of that. Tons of overweight stuff.
Oh yeah,
left and
come on
right.
now, tons of fun, and he's
So it kind of made me see it all these years later a little bit differently. I was
Yeah.
like, if this isn't a good thing for him, but he's doing it anyways, and then he ends up overdosing later. It's just
Yeah.
like, man. Not that Tommy Boy's the reason. He did other movies, but
Right.
some that you just thought was just hilarious as a kid, and you have that insight later. You're like, maybe he was just doing this for a paycheck, even though he didn't make him feel great about himself doing this.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's kind of as a fan of his work. I mean, he did phenomenal work, but then when you see the price that was paid for that work, it kind of puts a damper on the whole thing. But then
and he played a similar role in Black Sheep, and I think at some point you got to look at it and be like, yeah, all I'm doing is being a knucklehead that
right,
plays this dumb role.
right.
So kind of sad. I'm sure he had a lot more to offer.
Yeah.
But hey, part of the being famous deal.
Yeah,
Thanks for the downer, Justin.
yeah. Fame and fortune is a heavy price to pay, and unfortunately, the cost was too much for Mr. Farley. I mean,
Yeah.
And as a fan of his work, it pains.
It's
It
the
pains me
same.
to say that. But
Same with Belushi.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, it's a never-ending story of famous people that are on their way out.
well, and I've also heard over the years in documentaries and stuff like that Chris Farley was a huge fan of John Belushi.
Mhm.
So it's almost like he tried to parallel his life to John's.
Well, they're kind of in the same shtick, so to say,
Yeah.
of acting,
Yeah, Saturday Night Live, and just became
playing knucklehead roles.
and just became super famous overnight, and just party too hard, I guess.
Mhm.
And
Living life too big.
yeah,
I
But
liked Dan Aykroyd's character in this. I thought
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
He was a good side
a lot of
character.
Saturday Night Live stuff. But they had the chemistry of everybody on the set. You could kind of tell that. They had the SNL writers, Jim Downey and Fred Wolf. They worked hard through the script, with Siegel, and they went on to Third Rock from the Sun, 70s Show. They had a lot of stuff going on there that was all SNL tied.
yeah.
So kind of showed in the movie, I think. So I will say this: the downer for me is some of it was unrealistic slapstick comedy.
Okay, now you're gonna have to give examples.
Okay, just like for instance, he wouldn't behave that way trying to sell brake pads, where he takes the car, wrecks it, lights it on fire, If you're trying to make a sale, you're not going that far overboard. So that was kind of silly in my mind.
Okay, well, now let me back up a little bit. Okay, if you're a knucklehead...
Well, I mean, I understand, but you're not that much of a knucklehead.
Okay, Herbie Hancock, really?
Well, again, I don't think you can be that much of a knucklehead. If you even if you didn't sit through any class, John Hancock is pretty prominent with just about everything.
But still...
So I think that's just kind of over the top slapstick.
And I think as a kid...
How can we make that funny? Herbie Hancock.
We totally ate that up, right? This is hilarious how over the top it is, but then...
Oh, yeah.
When you watch it later, you're like...
Well, and I'm saying that watching it as a critic, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, man, if you could pull out like 8 or 10 of those really, just dumb scenes. I know it was for a laugh, and Herbie Hancock was kind of like, oh, yeah, what other Hancock is there? There's Herbie. Okay. That's,
the guy they're trying to sell the brake pads to has some like nice little model cars on his desk.
Yeah.
Basically, Tommy Boyd says, well, if you buy the other brake pads, and then smashes it together and lights it on fire, and he's like screaming and doing voices of like kids saying they can't feel their legs.
Yeah, Daddy, I can't feel my legs.
It's a bit of a long, kind of crazy scene.
I mean, I could see it if he just took the car and was like, all right, this one comes to a stop, this one wrecks.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I understand that, but to set it on fire, do the silly boy, I just kind of like, yeah. So I don't know. There's a couple of those scenes that are just silly.
I'm going to say that I could almost believe that, because I've said in some sales pitch meetings that it's like, I wish they would have set something on fire.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, there's two sides to it, but I just, a couple of those that were just,
One element of slapstick in this that I thought was hilarious at the time and still thought was just quality slapstick now was he's with his dad and like a guy from the bank and just some suits, and they're doing a little tour of the facility.
Yeah.
And the guys ahead of him are like, all right, heads up, get head down. And
he's
like still trying to
mess with his hard hat.
His hard hat and just smacks his face off of like.
Well, that I could see, and like
funny.
where he's doing the ninja thing with the crane as it's going by. I could see that too. Goofing off because you're not interested in the business part of it. Yeah, I get that. But like the airplane scene where he's trying to change in the bathroom.
Okay, now the bathroom scene is one thing I've kind of had issue with over the years.
It was kind of funny, but again, just a little too far.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how logistically it works because his tie gets stuck in the toilet, and when he jerks back, he somehow falls out the door. The door is on his right, so when he jerks back, he would fall into the seat behind him, not blow out the side of the door.
Well, that's what I mean. It just kind of went too far. I could see if they're like, how do you, and David Spade changes in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
As if, I don't know. That I was just kind of like, what does that have to do? I mean, just trying to get a small. I felt like it was SNL writers just trying to get little small laughs just because.
Well, it will hold you along until you get back to the big laughs.
I guess, but
okay,
I was just like, it kind of retracted from it as a movie, and it was more like a show.
So I have one continuity error. I wonder if you guys caught the Tom Callahan names. So when Tommy shows up at the factory the first time, and Big Tom shows him at the door, it says Tom Callahan the Third. Fast forward to the end, when Tommy saves the company, they're all standing on the loading dock, and they says Tom Callahan Jr.
Yeah.
You're the third.
Yeah, because there's all those like portraits of like, oh, my grandfather started this company, and so the name has been going on
for ages. Yeah. For generations.
Interesting, yeah.
Man, I was thinking as we were watching it, or as I was watching it, that how much did they spend on just like fake Callahan labels on like trucks and buildings and
it had to be
packages of like oil filters, all this fake.
Well, yeah, let's talk budget, Joseph. Bring us up to
Okay.
speed on budget.
Let me see. I don't have. I
I'll
forgot.
take a guess. I haven't looked at it. I'm gonna say 12 million. Yeah.
12 million?
Well, what does it take to get Bo Derek, David Spade, and Chris Farley at that time? Brian Denny, Dan Aykroyd. I mean, those are pretty big names.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe was kind of on the down low though, so
Okay, Dave. What's your?
I have no idea because Justin's right. There's a lot of hard budget items, like all the trucks and factory and all that stuff got to redone.
They're big on the people that have literally like one scene. There must be like 30 or 40 actors they hired just for like just be a guy that sits in an office and they come in and
Yeah, you
do
have
the
a lot of
spiel.
extras in anything though.
Yeah, and those usually cost probably 1,000 or so. I mean, per person, so it's not a big. So Justin, what'd you say? 13 million?
Yep.
Okay, Dave.
15.
20 million was the budget.
Ooh.
Wow.
Did they get it back?
They grossed U.S. and Canada a little over 13.5 million. $13,679,899.
I'm kind of curious with the car, like how much actual damage were they doing to it, or did they bring like a junk car in and
I don't know.
wreck it?
They had 3 of them.
Yeah.
They had 3 of them. Now I do know that the scene where they had the deer standing on top of the car, it took them 5 weeks to film that.
Yeah, they put it out in this deer farm and waited until the deer got to where they needed and then took shots. Like they caught the one deer getting ready to take a poop and they're like, flip on the lights at night and take a quick picture.
Yeah, for those that haven't seen it, they hit a deer, for some reason put it in the back of their car because they feel bad about it, and the deer comes back to life and destroys the car.
Well, more than the car had already been destroyed at this point.
Yeah.
Although that is
the little child gate as a door. On
Yeah.
The pretty
Yeah.
Although I have to say, if you think about it, it's one thing I literally just thought of. Tommy pouring the M&Ms down the dash, just kind of foreshadows just the destruction this car's going to go through. I'd never even had thought of.
I totally forgot the whole. I mean, Tommy's dad dying. I forgot that was even a part of the story.
That
When he killed over, it kind of surprised me.
really to this day that is the one scene that it's hard to watch because it's a comedy classic, but yet for them to be able to tie in the seriousness of death and to do it properly and didn't crack a joke in the middle of any of that and to make it so serious and somber in this whole movie, hats off to everybody involved in that. I mean, they did that to be able to take you from a comedy of laughs all the way through, then literally just flip a switch and somber and sober right there within seconds. It's very, very great work.
What year was this?
1995.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm looking at the cast. I'm going out through it because you're right, Justin. There's a lot of one-time people, like the kids at the lake. One of the kids at the lake, Dov Tenefbach. He's an adult.
Yeah.
But I mean, like then again, that was 20 some years ago, 23 years ago. So yeah, kind of crazy. A lot of these people only had Tommy Boy as their credit.
Yeah. So, would you guys want to play a round of Would You Rather?
Yeah, one thing real quick.
Okay.
Joe, you're talking a little bit about the mixing a little bit. It's a comedy, but they do a little bit of kind of heartstring type stuff with, Tommy obviously loved his dad a lot. And, at the very end, when he's stuck on his little sailboat, he gets that sailboat out there and then doesn't have any wind.
Yeah,
Yes.
how did he get it out there without any wind?
But he's sitting there just kind of having a conversation with his dad who's gone, and basically says he misses him and all this. And if I could get a little bit of wind, Dad, I'd appreciate it. And like it happens, and like the music starts playing, but then like instantly they switch to the slapstick.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
Now the sail whips around and smacks him in the face
Face,
or the
yeah.
back of the head. So like that mix of somewhat serious but comedy. A total comedy twist to everything has a serious tone to it.
Yeah. Well, and it's one of those at that point you would almost expect that laugh at the end because you want everybody to leave the theater laughing, not, oh, that's nice. His dad gave him that wind at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's one more Saturday Night Live. Okay, let's sneak one more laugh in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can probably see, not a mop bucket for me. But Tommy Boy.
Would you rather?
Would you
Tom?
rather?
Okay.
Lay it on us, Joe.
All
Would you
right.
rather?
So for the role of Paul, would you rather see Rob Lowe or Matthew McConaughey?
These are always hard. It's hard to picture other.
Yeah, I don't think his character mattered that much.
So could you have seen
I mean,
Well, definitely
to
the
be
bad guy.
with
Yeah.
to be with her, she's older,
right?
which really surprised me that she had a younger sidekick. But I mean, that was her husband, but he's posing as her son. I mean, I don't know. I guess she was pretty in the movie, but it's kind of like, well, all right. Yeah, I don't think it would matter.
You don't think
Wonder,
Rob Lowe was kind of mean though, so and I don't know if Matthew
McConaughey?
McConaughey can play that role. He probably can, but I saw him in like 10 Ways to Lose a Guy, Failure to Launch, where he's kind of like that slacker, funny guy, where Rob Lowe's kind of can play that mean role. And of course, Dazed and Confused.
Well, but he
All
also did.
right, all right, all right.
But he also did We Are Marshall.
Yeah, but that was a serious role, but not
Right.
necessarily a vindictive role.
Right.
So I don't know. But I go back to, I don't think that role matters as much. It could be anybody that's decent looking and kind of a little bit of bored look about them.
Okay.
I do like Matthew McConaughey
McConaughey.
in The Lincoln Lawyer.
I've not seen that.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it?
Different.
So Justin, can you?
have you
Which
seen
one?
Mud? That's another one he's in.
Mm,
I can't really see McConaughey in there personally.
Rob Lowe's the one, the pick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for Richard, I have two options here. Well, three options total. Richard, do we keep David Spade, or do we swap him out for Adam Sandler?
David Spade. He's got to be small mousy.
Justin,
I agree.
Got to be a nerd. Adam
Okay.
Sandler's not a nerd.
what about Christian Slater?
Nope. Small mousy, nerdy. Christian Slater's too savvy.
Justin,
I agree.
okay, Helen the Waitress. You guys remember Helen the Waitress?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Okay, would you have rather see the actress that played that role or Roseanne Barr?
I'll take Roseanne.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. I'd take Roseanne. Barr.
I'm with you guys on that one. I think Roseanne. Don't get me wrong. The actress that played Helen,
Yeah.
she hit the mark.
Yep.
But I think Roseanne could have just added just that little extra snarkiness that
Yeah.
would have been.
a little sarcasm. and-
Yes, just
Yeah.
that little extra dig to.
I agree.
So not dumping on Helen the Waitress, but it would have been fun to see Roseanne in this role. So that was an interesting one, guys.
Yeah. Anybody? Is there anyone else that you could swap Chris Farley out for though?
Ooh,
No. The other ones would have been too old, like John Candy or whoever. They'd have been too old.
well John Candy dead by this point.
Probably. I'm just saying. I was just thinking of people that would play that silly, older, bigger, or silly,
Over the
heavier,
top, yeah.
over the top type deal.
Yeah, John Candy, who died in March of '94.
There's a quote I wanted to throw out there today because it made me laugh last night when I was watching it. Richard and Tommy are on the road, and Richard, he knows everything about all this stuff. He's like the nerd. He knows all the facts and figures on the brake pads and everything else. So he's like, all right, you got to get serious. I'm going to start quizzing you on like stuff that you need to know. And he's like, what is the carrying charge for all merchandise in the warehouse? And Tommy's like, he's like, one and a half. And like, Tommy like blurts it out as he's saying it. So he's like, oh, I knew it. He's like, he just said it. You didn't know it.
Yeah, I
He's
know,
like-
but why can't I remember it?
Try an association. Like, the average person uses 10% of brake. How much do you use? 1.5%.
Yeah,
That was good.
that was good.
Well, I love when they pull the car over and they start fighting. Oh, mommy, the round is too close to the car. He's too afraid to get out. He's just a little guy.
Yeah. And I like, that's kind of like, where did the 2x4 come from?
I assume they just found it in the ditch.
Yeah, I just mean, like, all right, take free shots. And then wham, hammers him with a 2x4, drops it, and says, oh, look, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, considering what I've seen in the ditches around here over the years, I just assumed
Yeah.
it was laying in a ditch and never even questioned the credibility of it. But that is a good question.
Yeah, it's true.
I think for me, like, Chris Farley holds up pretty well. I don't know. Sometimes David Spade maybe noticed things about him on the second go round much later with the analytical watch that I don't know, that he was a little bit too snarky, or I don't know, he didn't quite play it as well as I remembered.
Well, it's a slapstick comedy, so when you have a slapstick, it's not really gonna have to play out that way. And that's what I mean. Some of the bits were over the top, but it's Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're there for the laugh. You're not there for the heavy content.
Yeah, you're not looking for...
It's kind of like Black Sheep, There's going to be some, Black Sheep when he rolls down the hill a million miles. They're kind of like, just playing this heavy scene just for the silliness. But
Yeah.
So
You're not going to get a lot of heart-to-hearts in this.
No. Even though, like I said, it rolled a lot of stories into one. I'm amazed at how many movies roll so many different stories into one movie.
Yeah.
And until we started doing this, I didn't just realize that. But, like this one had the romantic interests.
Mm-hmm.
It had the scandal. It had the heart-to-heart with his dad. It had his best friend who, they'd known each other growing up but always picked at each other. So it had all those stories wrapped into one. So kind of a good creative writing there as a basis. And then they rolled in the SNL slapstick and, laughs at every turn. So I will say that. I laughed a lot in it.
Yeah.
Even though some of it was silly, still laughed. So... like when he does his face, is like, it doesn't hurt here or here, but right here. Like, do you see anything? No. And he asks the waitress, do you see anything? He says, yee. He's like, I knew it.
Richard catches Tommy in his office talking into his
fan.
Using like the blades of the fan to make a weird voice. And he just surprises him. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like...
And who?
So excited about his office, explaining all the things you could put in a fridge. His dad's like, "Yep, anything you want to keep cold."
Yeah. Beer and soda.
6-pack of beer soda in there.
And put candy bars in the freezer.
And I like the hotel scene where Richard. I like both hotel scenes. Richard's sucking up moss with a vacuum.
Yeah.
What hotel room has a damn vacuum in it?
Yeah. I never thought of that.
Yeah. But yet he's sitting there. Boop, boop,
it looked like a lower grade hotel, so maybe the cleaning lady just left it in there, forgot it.
They don't ever leave a vacuum. That was like an old school house vacuum. And then the other one
was
was
just totally fake moths they were shooting up in there too.
Yeah, I don't know. And then the girl skinny dipping in the hotel. I mean, what? Come on now.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I do like when he walks by. He's like, "Don't give her the gym routine." I was like, "Gym routine? Is the weight room over there?"
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll find it. And he kind of walks on, and I was like, "Yep."
Oh man.
Okay, so you're forgetting about the third hotel scene when Richard places the order and he goes back and housekeeping.
Yeah. That was kind of funny.
Yeah,
For the love of God, I just want to sleep.
Some writer just totally out of thin air said, "Let's put a girl here that's gonna skinny dip, and he's gonna watch from the window." I mean, it's just totally out there. Like, makes no sense in the context of all this.
But yet somehow tied it all in. It's like you don't really question. It's like you're like, okay, what does this have to do with the main storyline? But
so
it's funny.
I've kind of waited for you guys to go through the scenes.
Yep.
So it's time to play that. What stands out to you when someone says Tommy Boy? What pops into your head?
Oh, gee whiz.
What scene is the Tommy Boy scene for you?
I mean, him after the cow tipping scene when he's getting sprayed off, like, and dancing.
I'm a maniac. Oh man, that's cold. Yeah, that's
that
pretty good
sticks in
scene.
my head
That's a pretty good scene.
for sure.
The diner scene, because that's when he finally figures it out.
See, that one bothers me because he didn't really. I mean, no waitress is gonna say, you know what, I'll go fire the fryer up just because you. He didn't really sweet talk her. He just asked her name. That was the only part to that that seemed real to me.
Yeah, but he relaxed and
I guess. I mean,
he kind of went crazy, ballistic, talking about his little pet, which was a piece of bread.
a little roll. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I forgot about that scene where he rips the bread apart. That was good.
For me, it's the car, like backing up to get gas and ripping the door. And then when Richard opens the door and it falls, I'm like, what did you do?
Yeah. Him trying to go through the bushes and there's a fence.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good.
That sticks in my head for sure. What do you guys think of the cow tipping scene? Funny? Over the top?
I mean, it's kind of funny. It's so-so. I mean, I could see Cal Tipping, and he's a rugby/football player guy, so I could see him getting down 3-point stance and then slipping in the mud because it's muddy as crap.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I didn't expect him. I mean, I saw the movie, but Cal Tipping, So.
Well, yeah, because that's completely believable. Because when Rob Lowe even says, "And it's kind of dumb," and he goes, "We're family. We're going to do lots of dumb stuff."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can complete that. It's completely inside a realm of possibility that Tommy would go out and cow tipping.
Well, and we're in rural Appalachia, so cow tipping's kind of like
Unofficial Olympic sport.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never cow tipped,
I haven't either.
but people talk about it.
Seems
So it's
like
kind of
hard.
like an urban legend.
Yeah, I don't even know if it'd be possible.
Well, Justin, I think you need a homework assignment. Go tip a cow and let's see if it's real or not.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do for our 50th or 100th episode. We're going to do a special cow tipping episode.
Justin's going to do a cow tipping episode.
IMDb,
Bring us back some facts.
IMDb 7 out of 10. Rotten
Really?
Tomatoes, the critics 41%, the audience 90%, and Roger Ebert 1 star.
Yeah, this made Roger Ebert's list of worst movies ever made, which I don't get. I don't understand why.
They
the
obviously
critics-
haven't seen Howard the Duck.
I don't understand how the critics could dump on it so bad.
Episode 7, if you want to go back to our archive. Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I mean,
It is.
it is what it is.
I mean, is it gone-
you know coming in with all the SNL people tied to it that it's going to be a slapstick
Yeah,
comedy.
it's one of those. Is it Gone with the Wind? Absolutely not.
No, but I mean, it's like Airplane. Everybody loves Airplane.
Yes.
The 1970s
Oh,
movie.
that's
Because
another one of my
Yeah, with Leslie
all-time
Nielsen.
favorites.
Just because you get so many good one-liners, and that's what Tommy Boy does. So
Yeah.
you got to come into it watching it, and I feel like, Riskel and Ebert or whatever they're called. I
Siskel
feel like,
and Ebert.
yeah, they didn't look at it like that.
Okay, so you bring up a valid point, Dave. Could Tommy Boy have been mine and Justin's generation of version of Airplane?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay.
why not?
Okay, so next question I'm going to pose this to both of you guys.
Mhm.
Since Tommy Boy's come out, has there been any other movies since then that is such a one-liner cult hit, Tommy Boy Airplane-esque type of movie?
Black Sheep, which was Farley
Well,
again.
that's like within the next 2 year
yeah,
or two.
but I'm just saying those two are so one-line heavy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I wonder.
Billy Madison, kind of the same deal.
still same era.
Same era, yeah.
What's the one where the kids are trying to buy alcohol, McLovin and all that?
By what?
Alcohol, McLovin, and
Oh yeah, super bad.
yeah. I
Oh.
can see people quoting that a lot. That's kind of a cult
Yeah.
classic.
Okay.
Napoleon Dynamite. Maybe.
Yeah. Napoleon Dynamite is a big one.
Okay. But Napoleon Dynamite didn't have the. I enjoyed that movie, but for whatever reason, I couldn't find it as funny as Tommy Boy.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
That was before.
Monty Python.
Before.
Pulp Fiction.
Before.
Princess Bride.
Before.
The Big Lebowski.
That's a cult. classic.
That was after.
The Godfather, obviously.
Before.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Before.
Man, this is a hard crowd.
Because I'm just saying, to me, it seems like at least within
Ghostbusters, but
the last 10, 15, 20 years or so, like it's harder to find a movie that holds
Die
up
Hard.
like this.
Justin's favorite,
Oh,
Die Hard.
Yeah.
A comedy movie that holds such high regard. Because it seems to me like movies nowadays are so watered down that it's hard to find a gem like this nowadays.
What do you guys think the rated most acclaimed American movie quotation of all time?
Say hello to my little friend.
Nope.
Go ahead and make my day.
Nope.
Run, Forrest. Run.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. 1939. Clark Gable. Gone with the Wind.
Throwing another quote out. Tommy's dad slaps these like manuals on his desk. He's like, "Tommy boy, you gotta get to know this stuff. Study up." And then he leaves, and then Richard's like, "It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. A group of words together is called a sentence.
Yeah.
Take Tylenol for any headaches.
Midol for any cramps.
Yeah. I forgot about that. That's a good one. So here's some top quotes for you. Frankly, my dear, don't give a damn. Obviously, 1939. I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Yep.
The Godfather. You don't understand. I'm not sure where that's from. Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Wizard of Oz.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's that one on?
I don't know.
Here's looking at
I
you,
think-
kid.
Go ahead, make my day. That's Dirty
Yep.
Harry.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Terminator.
Okay, here's looking at you, kid. Is from Casablanca or
Uh-huh,
Casablanca.
okay,
Yeah.
What do I feel like I'm going to do? Gosh. That's Napoleon Dynamite for you. So, yeah.
So I remember watching that in high school. My dad and I were sitting there just dying laughing. Mom's sitting there like, that's the dumbest movie she ever seen.
Yeah.
So Dad said you need to tell one of the guys he worked with. I went to school with his daughter. He said you need to tell her to rent that movie and have her dad watch it. I said okay. So I just happened to run into her at movie gallery one night. And I said, here, you need to watch this movie. Tell your dad to watch this movie. Dad says it's hilarious.
Mhm.
So I set it up, and she rented it and watched it. Dad got reamed at work next week. Goes, why'd your son tell my daughter to bring him? That's the dumbest movie I ever seen. Dad goes, you're welcome.
It's one of those
Yeah.
hate it or love it type
Yeah.
of movies.
Yeah. Airplane. Don't call me Shirley. Nervous? Yes. First time? No, I've been nervous lots of times.
Yeah.
Mean Girls keeps popping up, but I'm not familiar with that.
Me either.
Yeah, might
This
have
is
to,
so fetch.
might have to review it.
Get in, loser. We're going shopping. Of course, Bill and Ted. Bodacious. Bogus. Party on, dudes. Most excellent.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some.
Monty Python. I fart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smells of elderberries. Bring out your dead.
Yeah. I'm not dead. You will be shortly. I'm feeling much better. Think I could go for a walk. He's dead.
Pulp Fiction. I'm going to get medieval on your ass. Bring out the gimp. Jeez. Princess Bride. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Inconceivable! The Big Lebowski. Dude, let's go bowling.
Shut up, Donnie. He says that a lot.
Yeah. Huh. This is Spinal Tap pops up, but I'm not familiar with that either.
Me either.
What do you say? We ready for some ratings?
I guess. Tommy boy.
This is tough for me. This was
Really?
there's a lot of nostalgia with this one. A
Yeah.
boyhood
I mean,
favorite.
it's one of those. I'll go first. Medium.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's nothing I would say you got to go watch or you have to watch it or there's good meaning to understand behind it. But I think that kind of fits my MO. I like movies with meaning. I'm more of a drama / whatever type movie guy. But Tommy Boy is so easy to like, so easy to watch.
So the drama of the airplane safety lecture didn't grip you.
The slapstick comedy is just not my thing. So that the over the top SNL parts of it,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, I don't know. And it started right off the bat where he's running around campus. He missed the little KRT bus to run across campus through all these things. I don't know. I'm just like, okay, I don't know. He can't open the door.
Is this a light medium or just a solid medium overflowing?
Solid medium.
Yeah.
Solid medium.
Yeah.
All right, Justin.
I'm still thinking. You got? You
Oh
got yours?
gosh.
Yeah.
I'll be the anchor on this one.
Okay.
I gotta think about it.
Okay. So for me,
And do we get to kind of weigh like original watch versus like the analytical watch later? I mean, can we?
You can
balance?
weigh whatever you want.
All right.
so from that perspective, like I said, it's one of my all-time favorites. So that's an easy mop bucket, no question.
Yeah.
But
Really?
But from an analytical side, for all intents and purposes, from an analytical side, and it pains me to say this, like to the point I almost shed a tear when I say this. I'm gonna have to give this an overflowing large.
There you go.
Because this is one of my all-time favorites, and I can't go any lower than a large.
Yeah.
But from an analytical side, I can't. I'm trying to talk myself into the mop bucket, but I just can't.
Oh, you know it's not mop bucket.
I can't do it, unfortunately, and it pains me to do that.
Yeah.
So overflowing large.
All right, that's
All right.
fair. I see that.
This was a tough one for me, and you go back to 10, 12-year-old Justin. I mean, I'm giving it every mop bucket you could ever give.
Yeah, yeah, truckloads
But
of mop buckets.
I can't really, after rewatching it, go that high. I know this is gonna sound crazy,
Man,
but
this is a lot of thought for
Yeah.
a slapstick comedy here, Justin.
it's gonna sound crazy. But I could almost go overflowing small nowadays, but I won't go that low, Joe. Not overall.
Really?
I'm saying mop bucket back then, overflowing small now.
I was gonna say that's a
averages
huge.
out to like overflowing medium or something. Like,
Okay, I
could
was
be
gonna
on
say
that.
that's a huge change in direction.
On rewatch, man, there was just some.
Well, I think the
some
level of
silliness.
maturity, you have to be in. Like, I was in the mood to watch it, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't in like a mood to watch, slapstick comedy, you didn't really have to think a whole lot about. I could see that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I,
Right.
I relate to that, Justin, because in some hands, I really enjoyed the laughs.
Yeah.
Because it made me laugh. So
Right.
that's good. But on the other hand, there's no content there that I was really just absorbed in.
Right.
Like, even when I watched it, it was easy for me to get distracted talking to somebody or,
Right.
thinking about something else or pulling out my phone real quick to return an email. I wasn't, like, focused. Now, 10-year-old me would have been like, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see the deer jump out of the car again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
as adult me, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where I'm having the
Because I was
the
kind of
hard-
like, who piles a deer in the back of a car?
right. 'Cause
Why?
That's where I'm having the hard disconnect is as they say, looking at it through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Remembering how many times watching growing up.
Yeah.
That's one of those just go-to all-time classics.
Uh-huh.
So it's hard. It's hard to go from, like Justin said, the 12-year-old us of just laughing all the way to the analytical side as the adult going. "Ugh."
Well, and that's, because it is that. I think if this came on, and that's why it's a medium for me, because I kind of agree with you, Justin. I could go lower if I really wanted to pick it apart, but it's a medium because if it popped on TV, it would catch my interest and be like, oh, yeah, there's a laugh within 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stay and watch this laugh. And then
Some-
after that, it'd be like, all right, I'm going on to do whatever I was going to do. It doesn't
Right.
draw me in.
Some of the laughs better than the others. Like you said, some were, and for me too, maybe missed the mark a little bit, a little over the top, but then plenty of solid ones in there too. So
But I have to give it credit for an older movie at this point, and that's weird to say considering it's only in 1995.
Yeah.
It has aged well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the laughs are always good.
Yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Farley plays it right. David Spade. So that's what I mean. You could walk into your living room and see your TV on with Tommy Boy at any part in the movie and be like, yeah. I know
Yeah.
what's coming and this is funny.
Because, I mean, this is one of those, I'm sure, given enough time, they'd found a way, but cancel culture hasn't gone after it yet. And it's not a lot of, stuff that, like Airplane, don't get me wrong, I love that movie, and there's a lot of hilarious spots in it, but there's just a few small things in there that hasn't aged well,
Yeah.
thanks to cancel culture.
Yeah.
Tommy Boy's one of these movies that it would be hard for cancel culture to go after.
Yeah.
It's aged well.
Yeah, I agree.
And
for
there's
me, at the end of the day, just loved it so much on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth times I watched it. I got to go large on this one.
you're changing your mind?
Jeez. Ramp it on up because
I mean,
it's...
analytically watching it now, I'm like medium to overflowing small, but I mean that nostalgia for me just carries it. So I gotta weigh that pretty heavily because this was an all-time favorite for me. So I'll go large.
All right. So I've got Justin convinced, Dave. So
No,
what's it going to take?
I'm still medium.
I'm going to be like a car salesman. What's it going to take to get you into a larger bucket today?
No, not happening. I'm medium. Unlike Justin, I'm not wishy-washy on it. The facts are the facts,
Now,
Jack.
now, listen. Now, Justin, in
Yes,
his
sir.
defense, this is like the first, if not one of the few rare occasions he's actually changed his vote.
I know.
No,
'Cause I mean-
I never changed it. I was in the middle of
I mean,
Okay,
he
okay,
averaged it
okay,
out
yeah.
between
I'm talking about-
small and a
And a large.
large.
analytical and
But see, that's what I don't understand. I thought you were gonna fall on medium.
first viewing and analytical. No, I was saying even today, like just watching it analytically, I'm like, oh, this is a medium or an overflowing small.
Hmm.
But hundreds of mop buckets on the first watches back in the day,
Yeah.
medium or overflowing small. With mop bucket averaged out, I'm gonna go large.
Okay. Yeah, because you also got to consider Dave. Justin's pretty stringent on his choices. He gave Die Hard a small.
That's what kills me.
Yeah,
Die Hard, which actually had a plot.
I
is
had
a
no
small.
nostalgia with that one though.
Okay.
okay,
I
but,
can see the nostalgia kind of swaying because I have that same thing with other movies.
but now, Dave, I am
That's fair.
shocked that you haven't like raked me over the coals for giving this thing an overflowing large and
No,
and no explosions.
Yeah, right. There wasn't any, there was some car scenes and
Damage of property.
yeah, and they did damage some property, so that kind
The
of
guy
Kind of
beat
makes up
on
for
a-
the explosions.
There was that electrical
yeah,
shot
Oh, okay, yeah.
where he
Okay.
flew across the parking lot after
Yeah.
peeing on a fence.
yeah.
So that-
So some of that.
Yep.
They had the car crash thing machine, which I'm sure entertained you.
Fan pick this week?
Fan pick.
Oh, okay. No, wait a minute. I thought
Wait a minute. Yeah, we were going to do something special.
yeah, because remember you sent us. So was we going to do fan pick or do we want to do what your Oscar pick, your
Oh,
Oscar nominated picks?
I don't know.
We were going to pick off that list of Oscar
to.
nominations.
That's your guys' call. I forgot all.
Yeah,
about
yeah. I say we do that.
Okay.
Switch it up a little bit.
All right.
What show is this? 48?
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's make 49. an Oscar.
Next week is 48.
Okay. 48 then. Oscar pick.
Okay.
Switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like it.
So you want me? Because I
Man,
know
that was
we.
so long ago, wasn't it, that we talked about that?
Well,
Like last week.
it's been a few weeks.
Hold on. What year were we going by?
This year, because
2022 or 21?
22.
Oscar picks 22.
Because there was one movie that we all mentioned.
Are we doing Best Picture or just anything that won an Oscar?
Well, I think you said anything. Well, they haven't handed
All right, well,
up.
here's the contenders for whatever. Coda, Power the Dog, Belfast, Dune, West Side Story, King Richard, Drive My Car, Nightmare Alley, Licorice Pizza, and Don't Look Up.
Yeah, Don't Look Up.
So
is
when
a-
you Google it, like what year are we typing in?
2022.
yeah, I'm on the Oscars website.
So Best Picture. Maybe this is different. No, that was it. Best Pictures. That was the Best Picture.
Yeah, I have the whole list. I have actor in a leading role, actor in a supporting role, actors.
I think Best Picture though, right? Because we're doing movies.
Well, they're all movies.
Well, I just mean that, but those are based off of like
'Cause
actors, for instance. So I think we take it to one topic.
Okay, so because I know it was funny because Justin mentioned each of us picking a movie off her, then I brought up Don't Look Up, and then both of you guys was like, yeah, that's a good one. It was almost like instead we almost all wanted to watch the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we all just put our heads together and pick one, but we could do.
Well, ironically, Best Director is the same as the Best Picture. Power of the Dog, Belfast, West Side Story, Drive My Car, Licorice Pizza. So
Don't Look Up.
So I've seen Power of the Dog.
have you?
Yep.
What's it about?
It's like the early 1900s, cowboys on a ranch, basically, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to talk about without ruining it. But
Is it good?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's artsy. It's not like
Well, I
Okay.
have,
Yeah, I mean, we're talking.
It's not-
That's a Netflix movie.
it doesn't move along quickly.
You know
or
what's
anything.
crazy? Apple original, Coda, which I don't know what that's about. Netflix is Power of the Dog. Focus Features is Belfast, which I don't know what Focus Features is. Then you get to Warner Brothers with Dune, 20th Century Studios, West Side Story, Warner Brothers, King Richard. And
Sound
then
of Metal's on there.
Janus Films Sideshow, Drive My Car. Searchlight Pictures, Nightmare Alley, MGM, Licorice Pizza, and then Netflix again, Don't Look Up. So 2 Netflix, 1 Apple original, and then the big boys have 5 on there. I'm not familiar with any of them. What's Coda?
I don't know. Let me look at it.
I mean,
Okay, I've got the.
are we gonna be able to find any of these though? If they're
Yeah.
if they're that new,
Well, like the Netflix originals, you can.
right?
Because I just pulled up Don't Look Up, and it's a Netflix original.
Okay, Coda is about a high school kid that's a hearing member of a deaf family.
Dune I've seen.
But it's
Power of the Dog I've seen, but
okay. So
I'd kind of rather not rewatch those if that's alright.
okay, Coda. It's an Apple TV only deal, so we'd have to get Apple TV to watch it, and I don't have Apple TV. Although it looks like a good one though, but
Don't Look Up. I've heard a lot of hype.
I have two.
That'd be an easy one to watch on Netflix.
Yeah, it's two low-level astronomers must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. And it stars Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Will Smith is in King Richard.
King Richard.
Biographical drama.
Really? Oh, that's the one about the Williams sisters.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm up for that. Sports drama. It's right up my alley.
Now, what movie is it?
King Richard with Will Smith.
King Richard? Okay, let me see where it's at.
Yeah, it'd be good to have Will Smith on the show here.
Will
I don't think
Smith.
we've had any Will Smith movies.
Hold on, guys. I think we're gonna have to rent that. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, I don't mind shelling out a little coin for a special episode for an Oscar one. But it's up to you guys. Yeah. Rent for $5.99. That's all I'm seeing for King Richard.
Yeah, that's all.
Joe can work some magic, Joe.
There ain't no magic in that bottle.
Licorice Pizza. Can't even rent that one. You gotta buy it for $20.
Wow.
Nightmare Alley. Never heard of that.
Drive My Car is like,
Nightmare Alley, if you have HBO or Hulu, is free. One of the Google things is Nightmare Alley worth watching?
When they have to ask that's kind of scary.
Bradley Cooper. Powerful and disturbing psychological thriller. West Side Story, I'm pretty sure, is not in English. Or I could be wrong.
Drive My Car is not in English, I don't believe.
Well, West Side Story. How many more times can they remake that?
Yeah, I agree. What was the one, Bradley Cooper?
Nightmare Alley.
I just looked it up. There's Belfast. 1940s New York, down on his luck, Stanton Carlyle endears himself clairvoyant and her mentalist husband at a traveling carnival.
Huh.
Using newly acquired knowledge, Carlyle crafts a golden ticket to success by swindling the elite and wealthy. Hoping for a big score, he soon hatches a scheme to con a dangerous tycoon with help of a mysterious psychologist who might be his most formidable opponent yet.
Which one's that?
Nightmare
Alley.
I'm intrigued.
So I think King Richard or
Yeah.
Nightmare Alley.
Yeah.
I can watch. It's on HBO Max, which I think I have through my cell phone plan, so I can watch Nightmare Alley.
Yep, I'd be up for that.
Okay.
Nightmare Alley. All right, you guys good with that?
Sounds good.
All right.
So are we going to? Is this one pick we all agree on, or are we doing 3 picks, 2 picks? What are we doing?
If you guys want to do another Oscar one after this, maybe see how this one goes. And
Okay.
maybe do Don't Look Up or something. Or
Yeah, because I'd
King
like to.
Richard.
Yeah, because I'd like to watch Don't Look Up.
I think you would like it, Joe.
So you've seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
It's a silly movie that can be poignant at times,
Okay.
but it's an ironic twist of events.
Okay.
I don't know. The acting's not bad, and you're kind of like, I could see that happening in some aspects, but the premise is a little silly.
Okay. Justin, have you seen it?
Nope.
It's interesting.
Okay, so for everyone following along, Nightmare Alley, available on HBO Max and Hulu and anywhere else you can buy or rent your favorite movies.
Here
Yeah,
we
I'm
go.
glad you remembered the Oscar thing, because that's
Yeah.
switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a good
I
idea.
totally forgot about that.
It was your idea.
I tell you, yeah, I know.
Thanks for remembering the thing. that
Poor
I thought.
Justin.
Yeah.
I got a lot of movies on my list, though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I do too, but I keep using the algorithms. My list is my fallback one if the algorithms fail me.
Well, I just
so
mean
far.
I want to fast forward to my turn all the time because I have so many good movies.
It'd be a better show.
That's a little. No, I just mean I'm kind of like I'm digging this now because I'm excited for my pick.
Yeah,
But it's 4 picks away,
right.
and I'm just like, crap.
Gotta sit through Tommy Boy. And
I know. I gotta sit through Tommy Boy again. But
Hey, I could make you sit through Howard the Duck again.
oh
so.
gosh. Well, I just mean, you know what I mean? Are you guys excited about your own picks as well?
Yes.
Do you look forward to it like I do?
Yes.
That's my point. I look forward to my pick.
Yeah.
Like, not that I don't enjoy your all's picks. I'm just always like, ooh, what am I going to do next? And I feel like the schemer in the corner rubbing his hands together saying, what are we doing
Yeah,
next?
well, it's kind of exciting on two different
Ooh.
levels. When it's your guys' turn, it's like, okay, I'm anxious to see what avenue we're going to go down.
I'm with you, especially Justin's pick, because his is always a little outside the normal box.
Yeah, I've got one coming up that's definitely going to be a conversation
Yeah.
starter.
Well,
And then-
because Justin, because you and I, our picks, you know, we've got
We're
a system.
predictable, yeah.
Yeah. Justin is the unknown variable, which is good.
Yeah,
because it keeps us on our toes.
Well, he makes me change mine every week, because like right now I'm looking at my list. I'm like, I'm going to pick one of these two, but depending on what he picks,
Yeah.
it now influences my picks. So now I try not to narrow it down because I'm disappointed every week.
Right. Yes.
I'm like, crap, I can't watch those now because of whatever.
Right. but it's funny, Justin. However you pick them, however you come up with it, it works. So it's one of those.
Yeah.
It's hard to pinpoint how Justin picks it, but you pick such great ones. It's like, you know, I don't understand how you pick them, but I'm not going to argue with the logic because it works.
Yeah.
A lot of times I haven't seen them, but this next pick will be one that I've seen. I'm like, okay, this will be a good one. For the
Really?
show, so,
Okay. I've got lots of good ones.
Ip Man was a whiff, though. I'm gonna say
Ip
that.
Man, I don't know. I kind of liked it, man.
Ip Man was a movie that if you told me to sit down and watch, I'd like, no, I got better things to do. But since I had to watch it, it was way better than what I expected.
Yeah,
To the point, I was flipping through, I think it was Pluto TV the other night, and they had Ip Man 2. I almost turned it on. It's like,
Really?
but it's like it's 12:30 at night. I'm not gonna stay up half the night watching this because literally it had Ip Man 3, and I thought, no, if I like Ip Man 2, I'm probably gonna watch Ip Man 3, and I cannot stay up all night and watch movies.
Yeah.
As fun as it would be, I just can't.
I'm waiting for Stroker Ace to be available so we don't have to pay for it. I don't understand how a movie from 1983 that probably wasn't that popular anyway costs $4 to rent.
Because it's just popular enough where they can squeeze money out of you.
It's ridiculous.
I know.
Anyway. All right. We'll close this out.
Nightmare Alley next week.
Nightmare Alley. Join us.
All right, so for all the news and reviews, be sure to check out our website at beentherewatchthat.com. Follow us on social media at BTWTpod. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And be sure to submit us your requests, and we'll add it to our list.
And this, I think we opened the door here for that to be changed. So you could come up with categories maybe. Like this week's pick is from Oscar nominees.
Yeah.
So if you have a neat spin on a category we could pick from.
Yeah, like a little niche
throw
to
it
look
out there.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's a good idea. That's better than randomly going through the hundreds of submitted ones and trying to sort something out.
Right.
Kind of narrows it down to 10 to pick from, which is kind of cool.
Or you can get on there and tell us that Dave's mop buckets aren't justified mop buckets, and that Howard the Duck isn't really that bad.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
and that
If that does happen, it's a joke.
Yeah. and
All mop buckets here, baby.
And was Justin right or wrong on his call of Die Hard getting deserving
Yeah.
a small?
Oh, jeez.
That's the only
That's
myth.
maybe nice.
I mean, we've all have our own picks of things we've got dumped on, but Justin, I don't know how you gave Die Hard a small.
I don't know.
Out of the three
That's
that we usually
craziness.
dump on each other, I can't figure out that one. That one has stumped me.
Baffling. All right. 110 minutes worth of been there, watch that. Boy, did we ever go there and watch it. All right, well, for everybody, this is what episode? 47?
I think so.
Show 47 in the books. Been there, watched that. And as we always say, we have been there, we have watched it, we have criticized it, and made it feel good about itself. And now we'll be back next week for
Nightmare Alley.
Nightmare Alley. All right, so join us next week. Everybody have a great week.